everyone, come on in because we are here back for the first episode is Love is Blind. How y'all liking it so far? This episode or review is only going to be for episode 1 because that's all I watched. So if you are ahead of me, please don't spoil it for me or anyone else down in the comments. Because we got a nice, diverse group of people. We got a single parent in here. We got a lady talking about she's going blind eventually in her life. So I guess she's talking about for better or worse. She letting you know right now, for better or worse. We got a gentleman saying that he's from foster care. And then we have a bunch of ladies talking about, at least one lady talking about she's scared to be loved for her money only. Casey, who's 32, she said that she was in a relationship on and off for 10 years with her high school boyfriend, and that she's never not been in a relationship with a man cheated. She goes, every man has cheated on her. And so it's left her a little bit with low self-esteem because she's like, I'm a hot blonde, and what are they going to be doing? Going over to the next hot blonde? I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of ladies on this season so far that think real highly of themselves. Real highly of themselves. I don't know. Is this an epidemic where women just run around and call themselves beautiful and pretty all the time? I don't know. Some of these women be looking average, but they are calling themselves as if they are in the top 10% of looks. And I'm not seeing it right away. I mean, I'm not trying to be shady or nothing, but I mean, that can't really stop you in the dating world if you always elevating yourself to the top 10%, but everyone else kind of sees you like middle of the pack. You could miss each other. You could really miss each other. But Casey said that she grew up Mormon, and her dad and sister also are singing in different languages. She had an interesting story, a really interesting story. We had the construction manager. His name was Patrick. Did you notice how Patrick, I don't know, is Patrick Chinese? Is he Korean? I'm sorry, I can't tell. I'm sorry, I can't tell the difference between just looking at him. And he clearly does not want anyone to know he's Asian, because he's saying Asian men get no play out here in the dating world because everybody thinks Asian men have little penises. Let's just say it. That's what they think. That's what they be saying about Asian men. But anyway, as much as he was trying to conceal his identity, Anna, who was the one saying that she was 27 and grew up in Brooklyn, she also admitted that she too speaks more than one language and that she's Chinese. So she at least told us she's Chinese, but Patrick didn't let us know. He would not tell Anna if he's Asian, but is he a Chinese? Is he Korean? What we got going on? He wants to make sure you don't eliminate him too soon. And then we saw a lot with Anna and Blake. Blake is 32. He's an accountant, and Anna's 27. And Anna really liked Blake. She just want to make sure he's not homophobic or racist. That's what she said. But another person who's really interested in Blake is Megan. Like I said, Megan is 33. She's running around talking about how cute she is, talking about I hope men don't want me just for my money. She said the reason why she's single is because she prioritized her career, and she says men can be intimidated by her, by the way that she dresses, her cars, where she lives, all this other kind of stuff. Megan run around calling herself Sparkle Megan. If she called herself that one more time, I feel like ripping her out through the television screen. Girl, you are too old to be calling yourself Sparkle Megan. But another person Sparkle Megan really likes is Mike, 37, the real estate investor. He was a finance guy and an asset manager. Now he turned a real estate investor. But the reason why Megan really likes him is because he keeps talking about how much money he has. Talking about I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy. I'm in a wealthy man's club. He said he type A personality. They both sound like they type A personality. And it's interesting because Megan is running around talking about how she likes to make all this money. And then she says, but she's traditional and she wants traditional gender roles. Girl, so what you going to be doing? Bringing home the money and cleaning and cooking? Megan, girl, have you thought this out? Have you really thought that out? Mike said normally he does chase really independent women, but now he's trying to, have a little bit more balance. But he said he does want to be a leader, protector, provider, and provide for the family. He wants a traditional wife. And then all of a sudden, that's when Megan was like, yeah, that's what I want. Girl, I thought she was out here in the business world making a whole lot of money. I don't know, Megan. I don't know. Then we got to meet Jordan, who's 29. He's a brand service manager. And he and Sparkle Megan also had a little bit of a connection. So she was letting him know that she's in the oil and gas business. And Jordan happens to be a single dad. That's the single dad on the show. And so it was interesting that Megan didn't flinch. She seemed like she was still willing to entertain Jordan. But then later on, Jordan said that he had a vasectomy. And that's when Megan was like, what? Say what now? He said, but don't worry about it. I'm willing to have it reversed. Jordan only 29. You mean to tell me you had a vasectomy at 29? What went so horribly wrong that you was willing to shut down the entire baby making store? What if that baby mama must have done a job on Jordan to make him want to go all the way to get a vasectomy at 29 years old? So as much as Sparkle Megan running around talking about her car is sparkly, everything is sparkly, Jordan let her know, listen, I drive a 2013 Kia Forte. Ain't nothing sparkling on that. Nothing at all. And he was the one that actually said, I hate her nickname. Jordan said, I really do hate her nickname. I hate the Sparkle Megan nickname. And, they was doing a whole lot of flirting. And then he started mentioning that his son also has type 1 diabetes. He has to wear a pump. They got to change the pump every 2 to 3 days. And the more Jordan spoke about his 2013 Kia Forte, and then also his son, I could see Megan saying more and more, I don't want to deal with this. I do not want to deal with this. So even though she's sitting up there flirting with him and entertaining him and talking to him, she don't really want to be paired with him. Not at all. Not one bit. She really liked that man with the money. You could tell. She liked the man with the money because she said he got his shit together. But let me tell you, he may have his shit together financially, but he seemed like he might be a bit of an asshole. You know what? I don't want to say all the way. That's just my first vibes. But she says she want to build an empire with him. Girl, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a traditional housewife, sitting home, cooking and cleaning while he builds the empire? Because if you want to be right side along building the empire, then I'm not for sure that's called traditional. But hey, who am I to speak? I guess tradition is whatever you call it. So you might want to get agreement on the definition of tradition because Megan seemed like she's straying away from it. But she's saying that she's ambitious and driven and she's emotionally intelligent and that's what she wants in him as well. So we shall see. We shall see. Blake started revealing a whole lot of childhood, I don't want to call it trauma, but childhood lingering effects of his relationship with his father. His father passed away, but he was like, yeah, I kind of resented my dad for a long time, even though my dad participated and helped me out in sports and, always showed up for me. I resented him because, I don't know, maybe the communication, not for sure. But maybe it says she really liked Blake. I think she liked Blake for his openness, his honesty in terms of that, maybe his tenderness. But then she likes the other guy, money. What's his name? Mike. She liked his money. She liked Blake's tenderness and sweetness, but she likes Mike's money. Isn't it always like that? Any of y'all out there dating and you saying, dang, I wish I could take a little bit from about 3 or 4 different men and make my own man. That sounds like Megan right now. But you know what? What was great about this episode was we did get a proposal because we got to see the love story of Allie and Aline. Well, Allie is Aline. I'm sorry. Allie's real name is Aline. And then she fell in love with Anton. Now, let me tell you, when they say is love blind, if these two can stay in love, then I think this will be a classic example of how two people fell in love and not because of looks. Because if these two were walking down the street, I don't know if they would have connected. And to be honest with you, I'm saying that because I don't know if Anton would have even thought he had a shot at a good looking woman like Allie. I'm going to say it out loud. I sure am. But during this pod where Love is Blind, they found a lot of similarities, not only being immigrants to the country, having to learn how to speak English, not being their first language, knowing multiple languages, how some of them got bullied and teased in school. You know, although we saw the proposal early in episode 1 and she said yes, I know for sure they must have had a lot of conversations, and it's just the way that it was edited. But I'm happy for them. I'm really rooting for this couple. Like I said, this is episode 1. So I have not seen the reveal. I have not seen Allie see Anton, and I have not seen Anton see Allie. I didn't skip ahead. So I really hope that when Allie sees Anton, she will be okay with his looks. And I hope that he also likes her looks. Now, I'll say this about Allie. She's a nurse. She's a caregiver. So I think that speaks well for me being excited that they might can make it. And the other part about Amy, I think Allie says she used to be an Army Reserve. So she talks about how in her dating life, she presents as a much hardcore person, maybe because of her Army background, but yet she really is a soft, sweet lady. And I'm hoping that the two of them match well. She says she wants a guy who's going to be a leader, because she's always had to be super mature. But she really fell in love with this guy. And in fact, she was the one that actually told him first that she was in love with him. And then he followed. So I'm hoping that her strong feelings will carry forward during the reveal. Fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed, because if it works out, this could really be a true Love is Blind scenario. And then we got to see KB. That's what they're going to call her, because Calbria, I'm not even sure what her real name is. She's 27. She's a social worker. And she all of a sudden has taken a liking to Edmond, who is the man that walked around saying that he's been in and out of various foster cares, a lot of unstable upbringing between foster care and his family. But KB is dialing in on him real quick. She liking it. Her social work background is paying off. She said, I normally get paid for my social work dealing with kids in the foster care system. So what's it to me to have to deal with Edmond as possibly my husband to do the same thing? KB is saying, I'm taking my skills and putting them to work. I'm just not going to use my social work skills to help out strangers out here. I'm going to help out somebody that I care and love about. And she was flirting up a storm with Edmond, and Edmond was having a good old time. When they said, do you want a traditional wife? She said, no, I don't want no traditional husband. And he was like, good. Because she's like, I'm a 50-50 woman. I'm going to let you know right now. And I got a lot of degrees behind my name. And I'm not trying to sit at home and be no housewife. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Megan over here talking about how rich she is and how she don't want to be used for her money. Megan said, I'll give it all up. All of it. Not KB. KB says a 50-50 woman is what I'm looking for. And Edmond said, that's fine, because I'm a property manager, and it's not like I'm making a whole lot of money, so I'm going to need a woman to make work anyway. They found out they had sports in common, because Edmond used to be a cornerback playing football, and KB says she used to shoot jump shots. So, hey, there you go. Both athletic, both outgoing. One person who's probably needs a lot of therapy based on his childhood, and another woman who's been trained and how to deal with some of these things. It's starting to sound like a match made in heaven. I just hope it's not too much trauma on Edmond's side to blow this all up. KB got a whole plan forward. She talking about how she want to build an empire. She want to get a bunch of Section 8 homes and put more people in the Section 8 homes. KB is out here trying to save the world. And she says, I'm going to save the world, but first I'm going to start with saving Edmond. That's where she gonna start first. I hope they can hold it together, y'all. I hope they can hold it together because sometimes when you got this much going on, it can overwhelm a person. But KB is saying, I'm up for the job. I really am up for the job. And the more that she made Edmond feel comfortable, the more he broke down and cried. And when I say cried, I don't mean a few tears streaming down his eyes. I'm talking about full on ugly cry with your belly. It's all like you screaming and hollering, kind of crying. This man was so far down in the sunken place crying. I was like, Edmund, you got a lot of wounds right on the surface. They're not even deep wounds, deep where you got to go and cover them. He is walking around with these wounds tattooed all over him. And the more KB saw his brokenness, the more she was falling in love with him. She said, I just want to hug you. I just really want to hug you. So can the social worker save the foster care boy? Or will it be too big of a job for herself? Will she really be able to handle all the trauma that comes with that and all of the energy he has because he was bouncing off the walls? This man was bouncing off the walls. But that's all I got for episode 1. I'm going to watch episode 2, so I hope y'all will come back. And I can't wait to see the reveal between Anton and Allie. I hope it's a match. I hope it's a match. Talk to y'all later. Bye.